2022 American Women Quarters Silver Proof Set from the United States Mint. Got mine in today. Did you get yours? These are all all enrollments. It's all sold out. If you didn't get one, get yourself on the reminder if it's still available, because some may pop back up depending on if someone's credit card didn't go through, or whatever happens with the mint. You never can tell, but I don't know what the exact mintage is supposed to be on this series, but it's only going to run for 4 years. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. We'll talk about the silver content, and I'll do a brief little description of why these individuals made it onto this on the quarters. Okay, there should be a certificate in here. Yep. Alright, let's start with the certificate of authenticity. So again, this is directly from the US Mint. Kind of the way to get these. These are like $73. If you're on enrollment, it's free shipping. That's the nice thing. So that's the way to pick them up if you can. And I'll go ahead and say straight up, these are 99.9% silver. So you got the 999 there, and 5 quarters. This thing comes out to 0.995 ounces altogether of silver. So we're almost at a full ounce. We're just a skosh shy of a full ounce of silver. So that kind of tells you the markup. Now, these are proof finish, so you're paying for the numismatic value of it. So on the obverse here, we do have George Washington. And this design was originally composed and sculpted by Laura Garden Fraser as a candidate entry for the 1932 quarter, which honored the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. I kind of like that sculpt. It's pretty nice. Of course, we have In God We Trust, Liberty on there. You got the San Francisco Mint mark. Alright, let's flip it over. Here is the quarters, and we'll do an up close of each one. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. If you want to hang out, let's see what's up with these. How about that? Alright, what I'll do, I'll post down in the comments a little link to like a biography for each one of these people on the coins, on the quarters here. That way you can take some time and read up on your favorites or whichever one you want. So a little brief description. Let's start with Maya Angelou. So this design depicts Maya Angelou with her arms uplifted. Behind her are a bird in flight and a rising sun. Images inspired by her poetry and symbolic of the way she lived. The silhouette of the bird depicts a purple martin, a songbird common to Miss Angelou's birthplace. And of course, you have your inscriptions: United States of America, Maya Angelou, E pluribus unum, and $quarter. And just to expand on that a little bit, so she was a poet, dancer, singer, activist, scholar, best known for pioneering an autobiographical writing style. And it looks like she did pass away so she was born in 1928 and lived until 2014. Here in the middle quarter, we have Dr. Sally Ride. And I'll just be honest, this one is my favorite out of the 5, just because, well, if you know me, you know I love sci-fi, I love space. So the whole space program, past, present, future type of thing, whatever's going on, any astronaut is going to have an appeal to me as far as my interest in who they are and what they did, that type of thing. But Dr. Sally Ride, and this design depicts her next to a window on the space shuttle, which is inspired by her quote, "But when I wasn't working, I was usually at a window looking down at Earth." And I think that's probably true for most astronauts. Who isn't doing that, catching that unique view. And she was the first American, so United States of America, woman into space. I believe she was the third woman from the world to go into space. I want to say that was like 83 time frame. So this is space shuttle era stuff here, kind of what I grew up with. And just a little more info here. Yeah, June 18, 1983, she made her journey into history. So throughout her life, she broke barriers, worked to ensure that girls and women were encouraged to do the same. She was born in 1951 and lived until 2012. Moving on to the quarter in the top right corner of this set. This design depicts Wilma Mankiller with a resolute gaze to the future. The wind is at her back and she is wrapped in a traditional shawl. To her left is a 7-pointed star of the Cherokee Nation. Wilma Pearl Mankiller was a Native American activist, social worker, community developer, and first woman elected to serve as principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. That's a pretty big accomplishment. Born in 1945 and died in 2010. Bottom left quarter in the set, we have Nina Otero Warren. So this design features an image of Adelina, Nina Otero Warren on the left, flanked by 3 individual yucca flowers, New Mexico's state flower. The inscriptions, we have United States of America, $quarter, e pluribus unum, her name, and then in Spanish, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce that there, the voto. So if someone knows how to pronounce that, voto para la mayor. Anyway, I probably just butchered that, but that's Spanish for votes for women, so it's a women's suffragist slogan. She was the first Hispanic woman to run for U.S. Congress. I guess she didn't win. First female superintendent of public schools in Santa Fe, that's in New Mexico. She was a leader in New Mexico's women's suffrage movement, emphasized the necessity of Spanish in the suffrage fight to reach Hispanic women, and spearheaded the lobbying effort to ratify the 19th Amendment in New Mexico. She strove to improve education for all New Mexicans, working especially to advance bicultural education and to preserve cultural practices among the state's Hispanic and Native American communities. I'll post a link to that bio. You can read more about that. I did live in New Mexico for many years, in Albuquerque, the Duke City. So I did visit Santa Fe, all that stuff. There's a lot of history and culture there. Alright, our final quarter in the set, Anna May Wong. So this design features a close-up image of Anna May Wong with her head resting on her hand, surrounded by the bright lights of a marquee sign. So you can guess or surmise from that, she was an actress. She was the first Chinese-American movie star. So she hit that movie star status. She lived from 1905 to 1961. And you can imagine during that time period, she had to battle a lot of stereotypes in the roles that she was cast in. But she managed to make her own mark on the industry and found success in not only American films but also in European films. Okay, there we are. Post up down below if you're interested in this set. Did you get one? What's your thoughts on this series? The whole theme of it. It's only a 4-year run, it looks like. So it's going to go through 25. So we have 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 4-year run. So we'll get, unless they throw in some bonus ones, you know how the Mint likes to do things at the end of these series. But you know what, I'm warming up to this one more and more. I've enjoyed kind of looking at the history of these individuals. I'll post up those links down below so you can take a look as you have time. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Once again, there they are in silver proof. We got about an ounce, just shy of an ounce of silver. If you're going to get these sets, I would say the silver, get the silver one. Of course, the proof finish is nice. But at least the silver always has that melt value, right? Boom.